Have you ever wondered why we, as humans, are constantly comparing ourselves to others? This question, straightforward as it may seem, unravels a deeply ingrained aspect of our human psyche. It's almost as if we have an inbuilt scale, constantly weighing our lives against those around us. And this isn't just a modern phenomenon. The act of comparison has been integral to our survival as a species. It's a trait that dates back to our ancestors, who compared their circumstances to others in order to evaluate their own safety and well-being. There's a certain allure to comparison. It gives us a benchmark, a reference point from which we can assess our progress. It's the yardstick we use to evaluate where we stand, be it in terms of our careers, our relationships, or our personal growth. In its purest form, comparison can act as a catalyst. It can motivate us, inspire us, and push us to strive for better. But let's take a moment to think about a painting. A piece of art is not judged based on its likeness to another. Instead, it's valued for its uniqueness, its individuality. Each brushstroke, each blend of color, contributes to its unique narrative. Just like a painting, each of us has a unique journey filled with different experiences, triumphs, and challenges. Now imagine if that painting started comparing itself to the one next to it. It might start doubting its colors, its strokes, even the story it tells. Suddenly, the beauty of its individuality is overshadowed by comparison. This is where the power of comparison can become a double-edged sword. While comparison can inspire us to strive for excellence, it can also lead us down a path of self-doubt and insecurity. It can make us lose sight of our own unique journey, our own individual narrative. The truth is, comparison is a tool, and like any tool, its impact depends on how we use it. When wielded wisely, it can serve as a source of motivation and growth. However, when comparison becomes a constant, it can hold us back in more ways than one. Constant comparison can lead to a negative spiral of self-doubt and dissatisfaction. Now let's dive into the downside of constant comparison. You see, the human mind is a complex thing. It's always working, always processing, always comparing. And when we constantly compare ourselves to others, it can have serious negative effects. Low self-esteem is one of the most common outcomes of constant comparison. When we compare our lives, our achievements, our looks to others, and find them lacking, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy. We start to question our worth and our abilities. It's a slippery slope that only leads downward. The anxiety that comes with comparison is another significant downside. This anxiety can stem from the fear of not living up to expectations, of not being as good as others. It's like a constant pressure, a weight on our shoulders that we can't shake off. And then there's depression. Constant comparison can make us feel like we're always behind, always trying to catch up but never succeeding. This feeling of constant failure can lead to a sense of hopelessness, a sense of despair, and ultimately, depression. But don't just take my word for it. Numerous studies and research findings support these points. For instance, a study conducted by the University of Michigan found that constant comparison can lead to increased feelings of envy, guilt, regret, and defensiveness. Another study conducted by the University of Texas at Austin found that people who compare themselves to others are more likely to experience feelings of depression, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. So you see, the downside of comparison is not something to be taken lightly. It's something that can have serious effects on our mental health, on our happiness, on our satisfaction with life. So it's important to understand the impact comparison can have on our mental health. In today's digital age, we are more prone to comparison than ever before. It's a truth we cannot ignore. Social media has become a constant in our lives, a window into others' worlds that's always open. And through this window, we often find ourselves engaging in endless comparison. Imagine this. You're scrolling through your feed, and there's a friend vacationing in the Maldives, a former classmate who's just bought a new car, a colleague who's been promoted, a celebrity with flawless skin. Suddenly, your life feels less vibrant, less successful, less enough. This is the reality of the digital world we live in. It's a space that's saturated with carefully curated highlights, a parade of best moments that set an unrealistic standard for what our lives should look like. And it's not just about material possessions or achievements. It's also about body image, relationships, happiness. You name it, there's a post that makes you question your own. The impact of this constant comparison on our mental health can be profound. It can lead to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and depression. We may start to believe that we're not good enough, not successful enough, not happy enough. We may start to feel that we're always falling behind, always needing to catch up. But here's the thing. What we see on social media is not a true reflection of reality. It's a highlight reel, a carefully selected collection of moments designed to portray an ideal life. It's not the whole picture, and yet we compare our behind the scenes with others' highlight reels, setting ourselves up for disappointment and self-doubt. Indeed, social media has its benefits. It connects us with people around the world, keeps us informed, and can even inspire us. But it's crucial to remember that it's just a tool, a platform. It's not a yardstick for self-worth or happiness. While social media can connect us, it can also amplify our insecurities through comparison. So the next time you find yourself spiraling down the comparison rabbit hole on social media, take a step back. Remember, you're seeing a curated version of someone's life, not the full reality. Your journey is unique, and it's the only one that truly matters. Now the question arises, how can we break free from the cycle of comparison? It's a compelling question, one that opens a world of possibilities. For starters, it's about shifting your focus inward. Instead of looking at everyone else's highlight reel, start looking at your own journey. This is where mindfulness comes into play. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about observing your thoughts and feelings as they are, not as you think they should be. When you're mindful, you're less likely to get caught up in comparisons, because you're more focused on your own experiences. Next, let's talk about self-awareness. This is the ability to see ourselves clearly, to understand who we are, how others see us, and how we fit into the world. It's about acknowledging your strengths and weaknesses, your passions and fears, your desires and dreams. When you're self-aware, you understand that your value doesn't decrease based on someone else's ability to see your worth. Finally, there's gratitude. This is perhaps one of the most powerful tools we have. Gratitude shifts your focus from what your life lacks to the abundance that's already present. It helps you recognize the good in your life, and in doing so, it reduces the desire to compare. After all, when you're grateful for what you have, there's less need to look at what others have. Think of these strategies as tools in your toolbox. You can use them individually or together, depending on what works best for you. The important thing is to start practicing, to start shifting your focus from comparison to self-appreciation. Remember, breaking free from comparison is a journey, not a destination. It's about small steps and consistent effort. It's about being patient with yourself and recognizing that progress is progress, no matter how small. It's about celebrating your unique journey, because your journey is the only one that matters. Remember, breaking free from comparison is a journey, not a destination. There are tools available to help you in this journey towards self-improvement. That's right, you're not alone in this journey. There are countless resources out there that you can leverage, and today we'll delve into some of them. Books have always been a trusted companion for those seeking knowledge and wisdom. They provide a deep dive into a specific subject, giving you a comprehensive view of the topic. Some books that have made a significant impact in the self-improvement genre include Thinking, Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, Atomic Habits by James Clear, and Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Carol S. Dweck. These books offer unique insights into how our mind works and how we can harness it to our advantage. Next on the list are online courses. The internet has democratized education, making it accessible to everyone, everywhere. Websites like Coursera, Khan Academy, and Udemy offer a plethora of courses on a wide array of subjects. You can learn about emotional intelligence, effective communication, leadership skills, and so much more at your own pace and convenience. The power of community can't be overstated. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who are also on a journey towards self-improvement can be immensely beneficial. Online forums like Reddit have numerous communities dedicated to self-improvement where you can share your experiences, learn from others, and find motivation. Last but not least, experts in the field of self-improvement can provide personalized guidance. Life coaches, therapists, and mentors have the experience and expertise to help you navigate your journey. They can provide tailored advice, help you set realistic goals, and keep you accountable. Remember, the journey of self-improvement is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It requires patience, persistence, and the right tools. Utilizing these resources can be a game changer in your journey towards self-improvement. So, equip yourself with these tools and embrace the journey towards becoming the best version of yourself. Can comparison actually be used as a tool for personal growth? The answer is yes. Now, you might be wondering how. Well, let's dive into it. The key is to shift our perspective. Instead of seeing comparison as a source of negativity, we can harness it as a catalyst for growth. It's a bit like taming a wild horse. Unchecked, it can lead you astray, but if you learn to ride it, it can take you places. So, how can we turn comparison into a motivating force? Firstly, it's crucial to identify the right role models, those who inspire us rather than intimidate us, those who challenge us to stretch our abilities, not to mimic them. Choose models who embody qualities you admire and aspire to, not just those who possess things you desire. Secondly, use comparison as a benchmark. It's not about surpassing others, but about surpassing your former self. It's about identifying where you are and where you could be. It's about setting realistic goals based on your own potential and not someone else's achievements. Thirdly, let the comparisons serve as a motivator. If someone else has achieved something, it shows it's possible. Instead of feeling envious or inferior, feel inspired. Use their success as a driving force to push your own boundaries and to fuel your ambition. Lastly, remember to celebrate your own progress. The journey of self-improvement is not a sprint, but a marathon. It's about constant incremental growth. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. So don't just compare where you are to where others are. Compare where you are to where you were. In essence, the art of beneficial comparison lies in using it as a compass, guiding you towards your personal goals and not as a sword, cutting down your self-esteem. Remember, everyone's journey is unique, and the only person you should strive to be better than is the person you were yesterday. So comparison, if used wisely, can indeed be a powerful tool for growth. Let's look at some real-life examples of individuals who managed to turn comparison into a tool for growth. Our first story is about a woman named Lisa. Lisa was a talented artist, but she often found herself comparing her work to others. This led to a lot of self-doubt and hindered her progress. One day, she decided to use those comparisons as a source of inspiration and learning. She started studying the techniques of artists she admired, incorporating their styles into her own unique expression. This shift in perspective transformed her art and boosted her confidence. Today, Lisa is a successful artist with her work displayed in galleries around the world. Next, let's talk about Mark, a young entrepreneur. He often compared his startup's progress to other companies in his industry. This caused him stress and anxiety as he felt he was always lagging behind. Mark decided to change his approach. He began studying successful companies, not to beat himself up, but to learn from their strategies. He used their success as a benchmark for his own growth. This new approach led to incredible growth for his business, and today, Mark's company is a key player in the industry. Finally, we have Sarah, a fitness enthusiast. She constantly compared her physique to fitness models on social media. This made her feel inadequate and demotivated. One day, she decided to turn this comparison into motivation. She started following fitness models for their workout routines and diet plans rather than just their bodies. This helped her develop a healthier relationship with her body and achieve her fitness goals. These stories tell us that comparison doesn't have to be a negative force in our lives. When used as a tool for learning and growth, it can lead to incredible success. It's all about changing our perception and using comparison as a way to learn, improve, and grow. These success stories prove that overcoming comparison is not only possible but also rewarding. Overcoming comparison is a journey, and like any journey, it requires patience, persistence, and a lot of self-love. In this game we call life, there's no fast track to self-improvement. It's a process, a journey that unfolds over time. It requires a daily commitment to personal growth and a willingness to face and overcome our flaws and insecurities. It's about embracing the beautiful, unique individual you are, rather than focusing on how you stack up against others. Patience, my friends, is a virtue that cannot be overlooked in this journey. It's the steady hand that guides us when we're tempted to look over our shoulder and compare our progress with others. Remember, the path to self-improvement isn't a race. It's not about who gets there first, but rather it's about becoming the best version of yourself at your own pace. Let's talk about persistence. No journey is without its hurdles, and overcoming comparison is no exception. There will be moments of doubt, moments when old habits try to sneak their way back in. But it's in these moments that persistence becomes crucial. It's the drive that pushes us forward, keeps us moving even when the road gets rough. Now let's not forget about self-love. It's the foundation upon which this journey is built. It's about recognizing your worth, your value, independent of anyone else. It's about celebrating your successes, no matter how small, and learning from your failures, no matter how big. Self-love is the compass that keeps us headed in the right direction. So here's some food for thought. The next time you find yourself slipping into the cycle of comparison, take a moment, breathe, remind yourself of how far you've come and of the journey still ahead. Remind yourself that you are enough, just as you are. Remember, every journey begins with a single step, and you have the power to take that step today. Now that you know the truth about comparison, it's time to take action. The journey of self-improvement and personal growth is one that demands courage and commitment. It's a journey that asks us to break free from the shackles of comparison and reclaim our power. We've explored the weight that comparison can place on our shoulders and the way it can hold us back. But we've also seen how it can be harnessed for growth if we approach it with the right mindset. Remember the power of comparison. It can motivate and inspire us, but it can also lead to self-doubt and stagnation. Acknowledge it, but don't let it define you. Understand that your journey is unique, and it's not meant to be a mirror image of someone else's. We've delved into the downside of comparison and how it can fuel feelings of inadequacy. Be mindful of this. Recognize when you're falling into the comparison trap and gently steer yourself away. Embrace your individuality and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. We've discussed the impact of social media on comparison. Be conscious of your digital consumption and make it a point to curate your online environment. Follow accounts that uplift you and unfollow those that lead you down the path of comparison. We've uncovered strategies for breaking the comparison cycle. Practice gratitude, focus on self-compassion, and cultivate a growth mindset. These are your tools for self-improvement. We've shown you how to harness comparison for growth. Use it as a catalyst for change, not as a measure of your worth. Look for lessons, not for validation. We've shared real-life success stories. Let these narratives inspire you, but remember that your story is still being written. And finally, we've looked at the journey ahead. It may be filled with challenges, but it's also ripe with opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Now it's your turn. Take these insights and apply them in your life. Share this video with others who might benefit from it. Let's create a ripple effect of positive change. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of comparison. Remember, the power to change lies within you. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and keep striving for the best version of yourself.